The Chicago Sky unfortunately lose a key game in their hopes to make the playoffs, but our hope is not lost yet. We'll talk about the scenarios that the Chicago Sky can still make the playoffs, as well as recap this game. We're going to get into all that and more right after this.
Welcome to Chicago Sky Central, and here's your host, Haize.
What's going on, Sky fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Sky Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Sky related. Steve-O, my brother. Um, man, no Kennedy Carter, no, of course, Andrew Reese, no Camila Cardoso, and the Chicago Sky were still hanging in there towards the fourth quarter. Now the Atlanta Dream ended up pulling away from it. We had got the lead down to single digits at one point. We ended up losing 86-70 in this game. Rachel Banham shows up. 6 for 10 from 3-point range, 8 of 13 overall, 22 points, leading the Chicago Sky in scoring. Lindsey Allen with 16 points, Isabel Harrison with 13 and 11, a double-double here. Only the total of 3 points off the bench yet again. Of course, those 3 points come from Dana Evans, 8 points from Breonna Turner, who started at center for us, and 8 points from Michaela Oniwerde. How you feeling about this game?
We should have got blown out by 30, but they actually tried. And the fact that they didn't get blown out by 30, only lost by 16 points.
Yeah.
You can't ask nothing more for what they displayed out there, especially when you saying Breonna Turner going up against freaking Tina Charles all night.
Yeah.
So, and that's what just happened. Like they, it is what it is. Like they did the unexpected. I say that. Like for the people that started, they did what it is. Rachel had a monster night, like you said, 22 points, 8 for 13, 6 for 10 from shooting. LA had a solid game with 16.4 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Um, Izzy did a pretty solid game, having a double, 13 and 10. Struggled a little bit from shooting, but most of everybody did outside of Rachel. And Michaela had an off night, and I guess she's starting to run out of gas because she gave us a solid month of play. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then our bench just didn't give us enough. Dana was the only person that scored off the bench, which was 3 points. And when you go up against Atlanta, when almost everybody in the starting lineup scored over 15 points except one person, it's hard to win that way. Alongside with actually getting some actual production from your bench. So with down injured wise, down rotations, down with if anybody get hurt, we fucked at that point. The fact that we only lost by 16 points is just credit to Teaspoon, credit to Jeff, credit to them as well, credit to their heart, because a lot of people's lay down, and especially in things like that when everybody, your main people, your leaders, all that is out. So the fact that they actually tried and they exceeded more than what they usually is, hats off to them. I can't you can't go away from this game feeling bad, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that when it comes down to it, the Sky showed fight. We showed fight down the stretch of this season. After Angel Reese went down. Like, look at all the adversity. Like one of our key veterans, they were supposed to help kind of fill in the gap between our two new young center and forward was Elizabeth Williams, right? Like we lost her early into the season, so we didn't have her. Diamond gone, even though she didn't give this guy a lot this season. We lost her early in the season. We made a big trade to send out one of our better players, Marina Mabry. Like everything that happened this season, it all led to this point. And I'm not surprised. Nobody should be surprised. But one thing that I do love is that the Sky have a future. And I think nobody can deny that, even though we have so much of this roster that is free agents at the end of this year, we now have a young core. We got Angel Reese. We got Camila Cardoso. Kennedy Carter's a restricted free agent. I see no way in hell the Sky are letting Kennedy Carter go. And then we still got some solid veterans around them. We still got Mo Jefferson on this team. Rachel Banham is under contract as well. Like, again, we know that these ladies, you don't want to rely on them day in and day out to like be big impact players for your team. But as role players and vets, especially if we draft another guard, things like that. Plus, we got 2 first-round picks. There's a lot of things still looking up around the Sky, even though how this season ended for the team.
I was just about to say I'll be extremely comfortable with looking at my bench and seeing that I got Rachel, Michaela, and LA on that bench.
Yeah, LA as well. Yeah.
I'll be very comfortable because to me, like I said last game, that's really their natural role. Everybody, and even if we are able to keep Izzy in that position, just that depth alone will be a championship bench if we get the right starters right. And with, like I said, with the news that we bringing down on the facilities, people wanting to play with Camilla and Angel, Chicago being the destination now, the future is bright in my opinion. It's very bright.
Yeah, and I mean, and honestly, and that's part of the reason why Jeff Pagliocci and the Sky made the pivot that they did is that with they try to sign NECA, they try to get Skylar Diggins here to pair with Kalia Copper. They couldn't get it done, and that put a real bleak outlook on the future of the Sky. They rebuild. They gave us a future with the 2 picks. We got 2 picks in each of the next draft. Like the Sky got a lot of assets. They got a lot of money to spend. Salary cap's going to go up as well. You found a gem this season in Kennedy Carter, who we got in that trade, and like who now has shown herself to be absolutely part of your core going forward. There's a lot of positivity around the Sky. So
Yeah, like honestly, I feel like Jeff should really get more flowers than he really does because it takes a lot to sit here and put on the display. Well, it was his initial that Khalil Copper and Teaspoon, we was gonna run it like that. And it takes him to like really sit down and be like, okay, do I want to be that franchise that's basically scavenging and trying to survive and trying to trade and and move money, trying to make that way or do it the right way? And he sat there, so let's just do it the right way, cut our losses. We have everybody in here is new, so might as well start bringing spanking new. And a lot of people are stubborn in those things. A lot of people be like, no, we doing Kai until the wheels fall off. We going like a lot of people are stubborn. Some people don't like, just like in the Bulls, like based on the situation, who's being hired, your coaches. Some people ain't trying to do a rebuild, and they were like, "No, we don't care. We're doing a rebuild." Because I'm pretty sure the conversation wasn't rebuild when they first talked about hiring with Teaspoon.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's great to point that out. What they've done here and how keep in mind, like this team could have competed for a playoff spot with Marina, with Kalia Copper, keeping the veterans, things like that. We still competed for a playoff spot when we clearly went into a rebuild. Clearly went
Yep.
into a rebuild. Like that's not something to just overlook and take for granted. I know that it sucked the way that it ended. I know it's left a bad taste in a lot of new Sky fans and older Sky fans' mouths with the fact that we didn't finish as strong as what we thought we were going to finish and come out the break the way that we thought we were going to come out of. But yeah, for what and all the turnover, all the change that we've had in both the last 2 off seasons to lead us now in this place where if the Sky play this off season right, if they get the right player in the draft, if they go out and are able to add in some key veteran pieces or even a big piece, I still hold out for Satu coming to this team. The Sky can go from this team that was competing, fighting, scratching, and trying to claw their way into the playoffs this year to a team that's outwardly just fighting for a spot and competing for where their seeding is going to be more so than if they're going to make the playoffs. And that's something that you got to give credit to. Like, I love what you said. Like, and I know not everybody's a Chicago Bulls fan, but the Sky basically avoided what the Bulls did the last 3 years before this season. The Bulls had a team where they were fighting and competing for a play-in, not even a playoff spot. They fell short the last 2 years. Jeff Pagliocci looked at it and said, and they did that with veterans, over 30-year-old players. And Jeff Pagliocci said, "No, I don't want to do that. I want to reset the table here and give us a chance to build something that's going to have longevity." And I got to commend him for doing that.
Yeah, and like I said, that's not an easy thing to sell anybody, like let alone sell a heavy sports heavy team. And at the time, like it was a lot of sour grapes at the time because the way that from our point of view, we understood why James Wade left, but the way he did leave, it was like damn. But
Yeah.
so that was it was just a somber way. So for him to already be in a kind of uncomfortable situation to make it even more uncomfortable because coming into this season, y'all go back before any draft, anything, the day that Khalil Copper trade, we was like, what the hell are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
And to look here now and to see that his vision, that we could see his vision, and he already had this vision, and we almost made it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
in year one. Hey, I have nothing but great things to expect.
Yeah. And I'm like I said, I'm all about when it comes to front offices is what do you show me? And Jeff Pagliocci has shown a lot. He's shown vision. He's shown a desire to be aggressive and going out and getting players that he wants. Right, even on draft day, and that's something we don't talk about a lot. The Sky came into the draft one pick lower than what they ended up drafting. They traded to move up one spot to secure the fact that they were going to get Angel Reese. They wanted to make sure that they got Angel Reese to pair with Camilo Cardoso. So like it's a lot of love there between us. Now, this question that we have here, Z asks, can the Sky still get the 8 spot or is it over? No. So what the Sky would need to do, I think it's tomorrow, right? We play again tomorrow, right? Am I mistaken on that?
I
So
think so.
the Sky would have to win their game tomorrow, and then also the Dream would have to lose. If the Dream win at all tomorrow, it's done. That's
We
it.
play Thursday.
Oh, it's Thursday. Okay. If Thursday, we have to win, but we also need the Dream to lose on Thursday. So we face the Connecticut Sun, which is the third best team in the league. They got everything locked in. And the Dream face the Liberty, who also have everything locked in. So there's a chance that both the Liberty and the Sun may sit their players in those games. And it comes down to who brings it. And they both play at the same time. I don't know why the Dream and the Sky are always, if they don't play each other, the games are always on at the same time. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. If the Dream win at all, we can't make it. We need the Dream to lose and we have to win. And that will secure our spot.
Yeah. I'm just looking at because like if you really want to look at it, like I'm looking at some of the first time like the rebuild started for some of these franchises, and I'm just sitting here looking like we in a very good spot. Like if you think about the beginning of like Indiana and Vegas is to me is probably doing the most proper way of how you rebuild a team. So when they first started in Indiana, that was 2018. They won 6 games.
Yeah.
We won 13. Vegas won 9 at the beginning. We won 13. That should tell you everything you should know.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Booker B points out a good point. The Mystics they are not eliminated either from contention.
Yep.
So we do need the Mystic and the Dream to lose tomorrow because now the Dream have a 1-game advantage over us, but we hold the tiebreaker against the Dream. So if we finish with the same record, we get into that spot. But if the Mystic also win, and we win, they would get the spot because they hold the tiebreaker over us. So I did miss that point. The Mystics also hold that tiebreaker. So we need both the Dream and the Mystic to lose tomorrow. So look out for those games. And the Mystic, I keep saying tomorrow on Thursday, and the Mystic play also at 7 p.m. against the Indiana Fever on Thursday. So double duty there.
Wait, what you just say?
The Mystic play at 7 p.m. as well against the Fever.
Oh wow! Why did they do
so we
that?
all 3 teams that are fighting for the eight spot play on Thursday at 7 p.m.
At the same time.
All 3 games at 7 p.m.
The reason I've been giving the WNBA grace is because we can actually find the television show chat network to watch it on. So I've been giving you grace. But next year we gotta nip this in the bud. Stop doing that. Stop doing that.
Yeah,
especially when it's big games.
Well, it's gonna be another year of that because remember the TV deal doesn't kick in until the 2026 season. So we got one more year of this weird scheduling, but with how everybody else picked up, we should be fine. Somebody asked the question. Give me 1 second. Where's the question at? Antoine asked, can you explain why Tankathon has the Sky picking third if the Mystics take the 8 spot this season? Because at that point we'd have the third worst league in the record in the league, but it still goes through the lottery. So it depending on how the lottery shakes, we can pick lower or higher depending on who moves up. But if the Mystic do end up taking the 8 spot, we would have the third worst record in the league because that means we would also have to lose. And then at that point, the Atlanta Dream already have 14 wins. Wait, but how does that work with the tiebreaker? Is that right? I don't know. I'd have to look into that. I know how tiebreaker works when you're trying to move up. I don't know how the tiebreaker works if you're trying to move down.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can answer that.
So It's over 200 in the chat. Let's get those likes up. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you to Carmela for holding us down because
I
we
heard
always
what
do a
she
good job on
said.
that one. Yeah. We're officially have the third. We're officially have the third pick. The losing has been tough, but we're here, and the draft is great. Brooklyn has been trying to get us to tank for the longest, man. Now watch
He
on the
been in
last
draft
day of the
mode.
season. Yeah, he definitely has been in draft mode, man. But it is what it is. What it comes down to.
Well, the last day of season, some shit happened when we lose. he gonna be sick.
Exactly. That'll be crazy. But yeah, so we'll see, man. Listen, and the thing that everybody has to realize as well that the Dallas Wings do have the right to swap picks with us. So it is good that we have 4 more wins than the Dallas Wings. Now, if the lottery shakes out and we end up passing up in the lottery, they could definitely take our pick. So be on the lookout for that as well. So they're still not done. Still not done yet.
Let's just pray we both end up in a lottery. That's the best case scenario.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh man, this has been an interesting season, Steve-O. Not a bad season, just an interesting
It's
one, man.
been the Goliath. If you've
Yeah,
ever been on Six Flags, it's crazy as hell. The
it's
roller
definitely been a
fucking
crazy
coaster.
season. How confident? Like, so how do you feel about that? Going into what we know is going to come down on the last day of the season on Thursday. How are you feeling about the matchups? How are you feeling about the Sky's chances to make the playoffs?
Like I said today coming in, they gonna try. I don't know if they gonna succeed, but they gonna try. Like I don't think the chances is high. We don't know how serious the injury is with Camilla, so we don't know what. I'm pretty sure Ken probably will play that game, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just a lot of uncertainty with them. So with that being said, I don't think it's a good chance, but they gonna try.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens there, man. I think the Sky, they're going to come out and hell, they came out and competed today. They just listen. They had 8 players suit up. 8. You know how difficult it is with only 8 players, while the other team, even if they choose to go 8 deep, they don't necessarily have to. Like, yeah.
I'll take everything I said back about Rachel Banner.
Oh, listen, Rachel Bannon balled out today.
She's
There's
still
nothing bad I can
she's
say
still a
about
role
Rachel Bannon.
player though.
Yeah, she's a
That's
role player, and that's perfectly fine.
that's what
And
people
that's
need
the
to
thing.
understand.
Role players are going to give you games like that a couple of times a season. They
Yeah.
just are, especially a veteran when the team needs it. Like that role players can do that, but she's still very much a role player.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, this is a key draft for the Chicago Sky, man. This is a key draft for the Chicago Sky. We got to get this shit together, man.
ASAP. But if it's anything like what I seen with Jeff already got a plan, so they probably already looking at somebody or a couple people.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Jeff Pagliocci and that is one thing. Like with the WNBA season ending before the start of the collegiate women's season, like literally his whole offseason, the whole start of his offseason is just scouting player prospects in college basketball.
He gonna be like Ryan Pose. We gonna see him at the Notre Dame South Carolina game in Paris again.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it's definitely going to be that. And like I said before, Jeff Pagliocci, man, I got a lot of faith in him via what he showed us so far, and we'll see what comes about it, man.
Yep, definitely excited.
All right, anything left, Steve, before we get up out of here, man?
Oh yeah, but y'all can break ground on that goddamn thing a little earlier. I'm get them out that day. I was just like for real, like that's probably my only thing that's irking me right now. Get them out of that thing so they can be practicing, and it's mainly for Kennedy because I know that's what she wants.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Like Kenny, and at the end of the Kennedy Carter being out today for foot injury isn't something that I had on my bingo card, but it happened. The Camilla thing, we knew that Camilla was going to be a game time decision, and just the fact that they pushed those decisions off as far as they did tells me they're not tanking to me because they would have made that decision earlier. So
Yeah, I'm too. Trust me, for a lot of people saying we tank, we've seen a tank before. In Chicago recently, we seen what an actual tank looked like before. So that's
yeah.
one the tank. They just lost with pride.
Yeah, they listen. At some point, like you just don't have it, man. And it's going to be interesting to see the Sun have the second best, third best record in the league. It'd be interesting to see if they sit their players, because if they do, or at least maybe a minutes restriction, or where they just don't play their starters a lot of minutes, because WNBA benches aren't as deep as NBA benches. But if they do that, Sky better attack it, man. If they really want this playoffs, so we'll see.
Yep.
Somebody said, "Why you say Izzy's horrible?" Like, horrible is a bit much. That's a bit harsh there. Izzy isn't horrible.
Only person horrible was Haize. Let me stop. I'm playing. I kid.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. All right, y'all, man. We appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button on the way out. You guys can follow us at Chicago Sky Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoSkyCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Sky related. And we'll see you guys before. I may do a mailbag episode tomorrow, so get in the voicemails, and then we'll definitely see you guys for the season finale going down Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Chicago time.